Good morning, everybody. Hello, and welcome to the stream. How is everyone this morning? I hope I find you all well, in good spirits, enjoying the weekend, and of course, for those who do celebrate it, happy Easter. Easter can be a religious holiday or it could just be a fun day where you do some silly stuff. It all depends, right? I was raised Roman Catholic, so today I celebrated the resurrection of Jesus Christ. But I'm not a religious streamer, so I'm not going to sit here and talk about that all stream. I'm just going to say to those who do celebrate it, happy Easter. I hope you're having a good day. Now, let's talk. What are we doing today, my friends? Well, we're doing gameplay streaming, of course. What else did you think I would be doing here on Twitch? Making pancakes? Of course not. No. I am a Twitch video game streamer, an interactive streamer, and we're going to have fun today on Easter Sunday. Incidentally, today on Easter Sunday, I'm going to be slaughtering some demons. That's right. I'm going to take in the path of the righteous. We got to exterminate these vile, corrupted creatures from the face of the Switch, the Nintendo Switch. So, we're playing Ghosts and Goblins Resurrection today on the first stream. That is correct. Correct. So, what's going on with the playthrough? Because, man, I've been playing this game for over a month now, right? Well, I am on the 6th stage, okay? I don't know how many stages total the game has, but I'm on the 6th stage. Now, this stage in particular has no checkpoints. However, it's not an incredibly long stage. It's just incredibly challenging. So, last time I played this, at first I was getting my butt handed to me pretty severely. But after about maybe an hour and a half of playing it, I think I got a handle on it. Now, keep in mind, I haven't played this now almost a week. So I'm likely going to be rusty. It's going to take me a while to kind of get back to where I was running through the stage, okay? Oh, it's the second to last stage? So there's this and one more stage after the one I'm playing, and that's the end of the game? Oh, wow. So I'm actually finally approaching the end of Ghosts and Goblins Resurrection. Cool. Thank you for telling me that. So, anyway, yeah, this stage has 3 major parts and then a boss fight. There's a part where you're running through a cavern, where it looks like a cavern, but I think you're actually inside of a monster that ate you or something. And you basically have to be incredibly careful about throwing projectiles, because if you hit one of these eyeballs on the wall, it spawns a ridiculous amount of enemies. So instead, you're supposed to be using magic constantly to kill the enemies and maneuver through. Then once you get through there, you go through this big pit, and you have to fight this, I don't know, grub monster that's inside of a cave full of spikes. Once you kill the grub monster, then you head to one more final area where it appears you're inside the belly of the beast, because there's spikes all over the walls, and it looks like your view is actually obscured. And there's a bunch of very tough Reaper enemies that seem to take a lot of hits to kill. So that's where I've gotten. I've gotten to the third part. And apparently if I get through that part, that's it. That's the checkpoint and boss fight, and then the stage is over. So I was very close last time around. But I don't want to jump the gun here and guarantee that I'm beating it today. Maybe I'll get to the boss, but I don't know. We'll see. My goal here today would obviously be, yes, I'd like to complete the stage. Every time that I play this game, my goal is at the very least to get to a checkpoint. But I do like to try to complete the stage. Okay? So I guess we'll see what happens. It may be that I just keep getting to that section with the stomach and the Reapers, and it just keeps destroying me over and over, and I can't get through it. Seriously. Or maybe I'll just turbo through it. I don't know. Let's see what happens today. Okay, let's see the pace that I take. And I'm sure people will be doing channel points wagers on either my success or failure in doing so. As they've been doing the entirety of the playthrough, right? So it should be pretty fun. And I'm sure there's going to be tons of failure and tons of frustration, but at the same time, I'm still going to tough through it. Now, here's the thing. Apparently, there's one more stage after that. All right, great. But, from my understanding, just like the original Ghosts and Goblins and many arcade games back in the day, which is exactly what this game is based off of, a classic arcade game, the game expects you to go back and replay the entire game from the start, but like a mirror version or something like that. Like, if I remember correctly, didn't they make you do it backwards or something like that? So that it would, like, increase the difficulty. And then once you did that, then you'd fight the true ending boss and all of that. And I hate to say it, I just don't think I'm going to do it. Like, that's crazy. Like, if once I've beaten the game once legitimately, why the hell would I want to fucking play through the entire game again? You know, they used to do this back in the day because they wanted to extend the length of the game, and they wanted to save space in the game. You know, they didn't have a lot of storage space back then in the 80s and 90s. So they're like, oh, just duplicate the game in reverse or whatever. Use the same assets over again, right? So I can understand why they did it back then. And obviously this game is supposed to be an homage to the original game, so I understand why they did it. But I just don't think, after playing this game for over a month, do I really think I'm going to go back and play it for another month to try to rebeat the game going backwards? You see, I don't think so. That's like, you know, I might as well just punch myself in the nuts with a big wood plank, and it's probably just as entertaining, right? So I don't think I'm going to do it. But someone just made a suggestion that says maybe you should just try the first stage and try just lower the difficulty. Like, I've already beaten the entire game on Legend. Why replay it, you know, just to see, because I'm curious how the game adjusts to the other difficulties levels, right? Like, playing on Legend, oh my god. I wonder if it makes it significantly easier if you actually lower the difficulty, or if it really wasn't that much of a difference after all anyway, after all of that, you know? I don't know. I didn't do it. I'm curious. So I guess we'll find out, because I'm going to, you know, we're going to eventually beat this. I don't know if it'll be today. I don't know if it'll be another couple sessions. But eventually I am going to get to the end of this. And then I'll figure out what I want to do at that point. But no, I do not think, excuse me, I do not think that I'm going to be going through, you know, replaying the entirety of the game a second fucking time just to see the true boss of the final boss of the game. That's ridiculous. Okay? But anyway, that's today's first stream. You know what to expect. There's going to be fails, rage, and hopefully some perseverance and success at the end of all of it, right? Good stuff. Now, later tonight, the late stream will be my weekly session of Fall Guys. Fall Guys is back to being once a week, and I feel doing it once a week is entertaining. You guys also have pretty much said, yes, at least it's just once a week. It's good. That if I do it more than once a week, it kind of wears out its welcome. So, weekly session tonight. Can I survive? I'm sure, again, you guys will be doing wagers on how far we'll get in each match and the like. And it should be a good time. I hope you guys will join me for that later tonight. 6:45 p.m. Pacific time. Okay? Tomorrow, we're continuing on with Divinity 2. Now, this is going to be a really good stream, and here's why I feel this. We're finally going to be wrapping up everything at Fort Joy and finally moving out of this part of the game. I've been playing this game for over 30 hours, and we're still in the beginning segment of the game. That's how much content is in it. That's how long it takes to get through this game. So, the good news is, I think what we're going to do is go back and retrace our steps, Fort Joy, wrap up, grab the hidden items and things that people have told me about. Like, there's a cursed chest storyline to do. There's some other hidden items that are just shipping stuff. So I'll probably do all that. Okay? And then, if we have time, we'll leave Fort Joy and we'll move on to see what's the next part of the game. Alright? Good stuff. I'm excited for that. Hope you guys are too. Tomorrow night, it's up in the air. It's either going to be Genshin Impact or more Call of Duty. I'll be very honest with you guys. I've been having, again, a lot of fun with Call of Duty recently. Having a good time with it. To the point where likely I think it's going to probably be more Call of Duty tomorrow night. Maybe I'll try a shotgun for the first time, which I have not done yet. So maybe I'll do shotguns and snipers or something like that. Or it could be Genshin. I don't know. See, Genshin Impact is a game that's good when there's nothing else to do. But I'm having fun doing the stuff that I'm playing, so do I really need a filler stream? That's what I mean. Like, I haven't really had a desire to play Genshin recently because we're having so much fun with everything else. You see what I mean? If we get bored of other stuff, sure, then Genshin can kind of slip in there and fill in that role. So, we'll see. Monday night's still up in the air. I'll think about it, okay? But then on Tuesday, it's the big birthday bash event. Yes, all this anticipation that's been building up over the course of the past month. Finally. Finally, ladies and gentlemen. It's happening. It is happening. Hooey. It took forever, but it's finally happening. Okay? So what is happening? Boy, there's a lot going on. Let me tell you. There's a lot going on on Tuesday. Okay? Whew. So let's talk. Let's talk about what's going on. First off, wait a minute. My face is itching me. Ah! My face is itching me badly. Hold on. Why is my face so itchy? Okay. First off, there's a marathon. A marathon of gaming. Hooray, huzzah. So I hope you guys are ready for some marathon fun coming up. It's going to be classic games. All right. It's going to be Super Mario Brothers, which I'm excited for. Hope you guys are excited for Super Mario coming up. Super Mario 1 and the Lost Levels. All right. Both of those things. It's going to be me going through Super Mario 1, which is going to kind of be the warm-up appetizer, I feel. And then it's going to be the Lost Levels, which is the ultra-challenging sequel that was so difficult, the Japanese game developer said, oh, this is too tough for Americans. I'm not kidding. They said it's too tough, and then they remade the game as a completely different game for Western audiences, saying it was way too difficult for people to play over here. I think that's incredibly insulting, of course. They think that we're some kind of buffoons and we can't just beat platformers or something, right? But anyway, it's a marathon setting, meaning it's going to start in the morning and go all day long till like 7, 8 p.m., all right? What I'll be doing is challenging myself to do certain things. So maybe like beat an entire level without losing a life, or beat a whole stage in only 30 seconds, or, you know, use no power-ups during this stage and still beat it within 2 lives or something. You know what I mean? Like, we're going to be doing challenges like that. And you guys will be wagering your channel points or penne points on whether or not I'll actually be hitting said challenges during the event. Okay? So it's going to be a fun one. I've never done an all-day event like that before of like challenge run stuff. It'll be unique and different. Something, you know, something variety for my streams, which is good. It's good to not always do the same thing, especially because a lot of these goals for hitting subscription numbers in a month have always been the same thing over and over, and I wanted to do something different this month. Okay? So that's going to be exciting. And here's what I feel. I feel within a couple hours, 2-3 hours, I'll definitely beat Super Mario 1. I'm very excited to get to the Lost Levels because I've never played it before. I know it's difficult, but I've never played the Lost Levels before. So I'm excited to see how this turns out. Okay? Now, in addition to that, during that event, I'll be wearing a pair of jeans as a result of hitting a certain sub-level in March. I know that sounds silly because it absolutely is, but it's just one of the things that you guys got as a reward, okay? Hold on, I'm going to turn on my fan because it's getting a little stuffy in here. Let me turn on the fan on low. There we go. In addition to that, during the course of the day, I'll be doing a live episode of DSP Tries It, all right? What will it be? Well, I know what it's going to be, but you don't, because I haven't told you at all, but I know exactly what I'm going to do during this DSP Tries It episode. We'll see if you guys like it. I hope you do, but yes, I'm not going to spoil. I'm not going to give you guys any idea what it's going to be. I'm just going to have it be completely, you know, completely out of the blue, all right? Now, in addition to that, there's also going to be at some point during the stream a celebratory live reveal. Yes, something special that I got for this special event. So I hope you guys will join me. It's going to be pretty exciting all day long on Tuesday, all right? And it's also my real birthday. So during the day at some point, I'll be having a piece of birthday cake, which my wife is actually going to make me today. She said today she's making me my birthday cake, but then it's going to sit in the fridge basically for 2 days because I'm not going to eat it till my birthday. You know, she would make it on the day of, but she has to work that day. So, so it's going to be exciting. No, there will not be necessary having to hit a tip goal for a celebratory reveal. I'm just going to do it at some point during the stream regardless. How about that? How does that sound? Does that sound good? That way people don't complain. People don't complain about it and say, oh, Phil's making us hit some kind of an arbitrary goal in order to see this. Fine, we won't do that. I'll just do it at some point during the stream, okay? Since everyone likes to complain. Okay. All right, so I'm excited for Tuesday. I hope you guys are too. It's going to be a great day. Something very different, exciting, fun stuff happening all day long on the stream. And, of course, celebrating my real-life birthday on the day it happens. It's pretty neat. All right? So, I will not be here on Wednesday. Wednesday is my day off this week. I know that sounds weird because I just had a day off on Friday, but you know, I'm going along with my wife's work schedule, which is pretty weird. I'll be back on Thursday, and on Thursday we're going to continue on with all of our ongoing playthroughs. So if I remember correctly, I think it's going to be Danganronpa on Thursday, right? And I think I said I would pair that with Call of Duty, and then Friday it's going to probably be more Ghosts and Goblins, and pair that with Street Fighter, etc., etc. over the weekend. You know, I'll be doing the usual stuff. You know, and balancing it all out. There will be Fall Guys over the weekend and everything. Now, you may have noticed I've not mentioned any new games, all right? And there's a good reason for that. There's 2 new games that come out at my actual birthday. One of them is a new Oddworld game. And admittedly, I was not a fan of the Oddworld games when they were on the PlayStation 1. I never played any of them. I did play the Oddworld game that came out on PlayStation 4 many years ago. I thought it was all right. It was pretty challenging. And I thought some of the puzzles were well done. But you guys, and what I mean is the viewing audience at that time, because this was many years ago, didn't particularly like it. This was before I was an interactive streamer. This is when I was playing games and kind of just playing them for the sake of playing them and not interacting with an audience. People just complained, said the game was too boring, too slow-paced, not riveting or exciting at all, and basically, you know, they were mad that I played it as long as I did, because I played it from start to finish. I beat the whole game, and they were upset. They wanted me to play other stuff instead of spending all the time that I had spent on this game. You know, which I thought was a little bit closed-minded. You know, again, I'm a variety streamer kind of guy, but it is what it is. So this new Oddworld game coming out this week comes out on my birthday, but it's free for PS Plus if you're getting it on PS5. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the license for it. So in the future, if I ever feel like playing it, I will do so. But I'm not going to play it at launch, all right? In addition, there's a game, Star Wars Republic Commando, that's being remade. And originally I said, oh, I'll play it. But I was thinking, I was like, guys, I got to finish, or at least get as far as I can in the games that I'm playing right now before we hit the new releases for the month that are big new releases. There's 3 of them. There's MLB The Show, there's Nier Replicant, and then there's Returnal, all right? And those are all around the 3rd week of the month. Okay? So really, I have about 1 week, after my birthday, I have 1 week left to focus in on the games that I'm playing, which are currently Divinity 2, Danganronpa V3, and Ghosts and Goblins. I have 1 week to focus on these and get as far as I can before I get wrapped up in new releases. And you know what happens when I get wrapped up in new releases? All the downtime stuff basically hits the back burner, right? So I don't want these games to end up getting, you know, frozen and unplayed for a lengthy period of time, especially Ghosts and Goblins, which it appears I'm near the end of, right? So what I was thinking was maybe I shouldn't be picking up new games right now, right? Like, it's probably counterproductive to pick up brand new games when I'm already in the midst of so many different playthroughs, okay? Now, Republic Commando, anyway, is apparently all they did is they took the original campaign from the original game back from the 2000s, and they put it like in HD graphics, but I don't think, like they said, there's no multiplayer component. It's basically going to be just like a short romp through a Star Wars game that a lot of people said is good. So it's not to say that I will never play it. It's just that I just don't see the reason to interject it into my schedule now when we're already in the midst of so much other stuff that I need to get further in or finish. So really my goal, so we got the birthday event going on Tuesday. I'm off on Wednesday. My goal for that next week would be to get as far as I can in the games I'm playing and basically try to wrap up Ghosts and Goblins. You know, if I can wrap up Ghosts and Goblins, that'd be perfect. Because then at least, you know, I've only got 2 of Viewer's Choice playthroughs going on. And those Viewer's Choice playthroughs, you know, can resume as night streams or can just pick up once I finish the other new releases that I'm playing, rather than having 3-4 games that I'm juggling and then new games too. That'd be insane, all right? So that's what I'm thinking. And I'm sorry to those who are maybe looking forward to either Oddworld or Republic Commando. Not to say that they're not good games, but I just don't see them fitting into what I'm doing right now. They're not high priority for me. These aren't giant, hyped AAA releases that everyone's excited for either. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. All right. Like I said, I may play them at a future date. Oddworld, I would say I almost guarantee I'll play eventually because I'll have the rights to it. Okay. Yes, I am playing Returnal. I literally just said the 3 new releases for this month are MLB, The Show, Nier Replicant, and Returnal. Those are the 3 major ones that I'm absolutely 100% playing this month. But they're all coming out the 3rd week of the month, basically. I think Returnal actually comes out the very end of the month. Very, very tail end. Okay. All right, so I hope this answers some questions so you guys for what you can expect in the next week or so. I think this birthday week's going to be pretty exciting, especially with the birthday event. It should be a good time, okay? All right. Okay. Outside of that, as you guys can see, we have a subscriber goal for the month of April. 900 subs. All right. And yes, that's a lot to gain, right? It is. But I feel it's a doable goal. If we do try to do it by the end of the month, now that the month is early. What is the sub reward for this month? Well, this month I want to do something a little different. It's an idea I had a couple months ago. You guys shot it down. But at this point, I think I've done pretty much everything else ad nauseum. Because I was thinking about this. I was like, what do I really want to do for a subscriber goal? Well, let's think about this. I'm currently doing 2 Viewer's Choice playthroughs that were open selection. People could nominate whatever they wanted. And I don't want to do another one. I don't want to do another open selection Viewer's Choice. You know, we got too much going on as it is. Okay. We've just did a retrospective a couple months ago. We just did one. There's no reason to do another retrospective so soon. Okay. You know, we could do a themed marathon, I suppose. But what would it be? Indie games, Rageathon, you know. I want to do something a little different. And I'm going to go with my idea from a couple months ago. All right, my idea is thus. If we hit the sub goal for this month, all right, I'm going to get a giant inflatable banana. No, I'm not. I'm just kidding. We're not going to do that. That's somebody else. If I hit the sub goal for this month, all right, you guys are going to be able to nominate a game from my past. All right, but it has to be a game from a very long time ago. So what are the qualifications? A game that I played in 2015 or earlier. So we're actually talking, you know, 6 years ago. Okay? This has to be a significantly old playthrough. Alright? So, what are we talking about? I'll tell you exactly what we're talking about. Okay? Back in the day, I used to play games either exclusively for YouTube with a camera. Yes, I had a camera pointed at my television from the years of 2008 all the way through early 2013. I didn't even adopt direct capture until 2013. That was 5, well, it wasn't really a full 5 years. It was more like 4.5 years of doing Let's Plays, pointing a camera at the TV. Okay? So the quality was shit. The quality was absolutely terrible. It was. Like, back then, I thought it looked good. But that's only because everyone else's videos also looked like duty. It was good because you could hear my voice. It sounded like I was sitting in the room next to you doing commentary. And it was funny because when I adopted direct capture, if you could believe it, people actually complained and said, well, it doesn't feel like your unique style anymore. It feels like you're just copying everybody else. Well, I mean, yeah, because I took a major step up in quality like everyone else had been doing. So that being said, those playthroughs are pretty damned unique for the fact that they got tons of views and a popularity when I basically was using technology that was incredibly outdated. People still liked it for me, not for the visuals or the audio, you see? So there's many, many games back then that I did full playthroughs of, and they were great playthroughs, but they looked and sounded absolutely awful, okay? And I played a lot of classic games, a lot of fun games back then that probably are due either a second playthrough or better visuals and audio to do them justice, okay? Now, in addition, I didn't even start live streaming at all until 2013, okay? And I didn't become an interactive live streamer until 2017. It was actually my Breath of the Wild playthrough in early 2017 that amidst the playthrough, I basically said, fuck YouTube, I've had enough of their bullshit. I'm just going to be a live streamer. And I started doing these interactive live streams on a daily basis. And the rest, of course, is history. My whole content style changed up then, right? And by the way, as I've told you guys many, many times, I much enjoy doing it this way way more than doing the offline video style for YouTube, the interaction that we have is priceless. We get to have conversations, interaction, and fun. I get to see your live reactions when stuff happens on a stream. And now, I mean, let's face it. Now that we have cool interactive things, like you guys get to pick fighters for my Street Fighter streams, you guys get to wager channel points on how I do in games. It's made things very, very different, and in my opinion, way more entertaining. All right? But I didn't do that till 2017, you know? I've only been doing that for 4 years. Before then, it was all completely offline. Even though I was live streaming, I would ignore the audience. Very rarely would we even talk. There was no face cam, right? Until 2017, I only used face cam during like horror games and Dark Souls. That was it. I never used face cam in any other games. So, the point I'm making here is, there's probably hundreds of playthroughs in games that are due to be redone in the modern style, and they would do the games more justice, and also would just be entertaining for an audience, because let's face it, many of you who watch me today are not the same audience that I had back then. Maybe you never went back and watched my old playthroughs, right? Maybe you'd like to see me play some of these classic games. There's so many classic games I played over the years that I would absolutely love to replay. Seriously, okay? So here's my idea. My idea is thus: if we hit the subscriber goal for the month of April, you guys will nominate and vote on a game that I've already played as a playthrough from the years of 2015 or earlier. All right? It'll be a full playthrough of said game, only this time around, direct capture, right? Live stream interactions, okay? And what I'm thinking we can do is the first session of the game, I'll do a marathon. What I mean by that is, instead of doing it as a playthrough, oh, we just have set sessions, the first day that I start the playthrough, I'll actually do it in a marathon setting to get a ton of gameplay in that first day. You see, it'll probably be like, 6 hours, 7 hours of gameplay or whatever that first day. And then after that, it'll become kind of a normal playthrough afterwards. Okay? Now, hold on. Before any of you freak out with ideas, all right? By the way, shout out to Only Ice Coffee, because he was on the stream last night and he kind of gave me this idea. And I was like, this is my exact idea I had 2 months ago and I threw it away, but now I want to do it. And he said, you should do it. This is what I think is a good idea. And I agree with him. I think this is a good time to do it now. Okay? Now, you may say, oh, that means all games are eligible. That means, insanely lengthy RPGs are eligible. No. 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 Well, maybe no. No lengthy RPGs. Holy shit. People just keep nominating insanely lengthy RPG-style games, and they take me 100 hours to beat, and I can't do that anymore. You know what I mean? Like, these playthroughs are too fucking long. I just can't do it. All right? So please understand. I understand that in the past, did I play a lot of lengthy RPGs? Yes. Can I do an insanely lengthy 80-hour RPG right now? No. I'm already doing Divinity 2. That's incredibly long. I'm already doing Danganronpa V3. That's incredibly long. The thing is, I'm trying to think, like, what were the longest RPGs I ever played, right? Most of the longest RPGs I've played, like the Persona series, etc., I played recently. Like, I've played the Persona games all within the last 5 years. So those wouldn't be eligible anyway, okay? The longest playthrough that I had before Persona was actually Skyrim. Okay? Now, is Skyrim eligible for a replay? Oh, man. I don't think so. I think we want to hold off on Skyrim. And allow me to explain why. Okay? Number one, it's too fucking long. It just is. That would take me like 80 hours to go through again. Because you know what will happen. Just like the original run, I'm going to get so wrapped up in all the fun side content of that game that I'm never going to... You know what I mean? It's going to be the lengthiest playthrough ever made. Again. I just know it. I know it's going to be the lengthiest playthrough ever. When I finally do replay it. So, and plus, keep in mind, now I'm an interactive streamer, so I'm going to be talking with you guys and everything during the playthrough. So, can you imagine how long it's going to be? Right? But here's the thing. We know that Bethesda is making a new Elder Scrolls game. We know this. They have announced it. They've said that we're working on it. We've had absolutely no information whatsoever about this effing game at all. Zero. But we know it's being produced. What I've already said is that eventually when Bethesda announces when that game is coming out, that's when I want to play Skyrim again. Okay? So I don't think I want to do it now. It wouldn't make sense. I'm already in too many lengthy games and things, so that would not be eligible. Also, a few things that would not be eligible. These are like no-brainers, but I feel like I have to outline them before people try to trollishly, assholishly think these are eligible. Games with online-only components, especially if they're older games that probably don't have those components functional anymore. Those are not eligible. Primarily only multiplayer games, pretty much not eligible because likely, you know, what about, for example, so what if Street Fighter 4? Okay, great. That's not a playthrough. Like, that's just random competitive gameplay. That's not even, you know what I mean? That's not even like a playthrough at all. You see, here's the difference. Here's why I'm saying, okay? If you guys wanted to see a Street Fighter 4 event, I would do a Street Fighter 4 event and we would do a marathon day where I just get the classic Street Fighter 4 games and I play them. But that's not what the purpose of this event is. The purpose of this event is to redo a narrative-style campaign of a game that I've played in the past and redo that playthrough. Number one, to update the visuals and audio for YouTube, and number two, to make it my more modern interactive style. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because I know some people go, oh, I loved when Phil used to play fucking, I don't know. Just an example. Rocket League. I know that's probably after 2015, but I'm just saying. You know, some multiplayer-only game, and I love those matches. I want to see him do it again, so I'm going to nominate and rally people. No. That's not what this is supposed to be about. Okay? It's supposed to be me replaying a game that was a classic playthrough and you want to see it again for whatever reason. Alright? Now, I will say this. Alright? I will say this, and this may shock you. Alright? A game like Fallout is eligible. It is. Fallout 3, Fallout New Vegas, those are eligible. Because even though I did original playthroughs back in like 2009, and then later on, a few years later, I redid those playthroughs again, they're still ancient. They're really fucking old. And I feel that those games actually are due for a modernized playthrough. Okay? Including the DLCs and like. So, yes, I would replay those games. Okay? Essentially, it's a case-by-case basis. Also, here's another thing. If there's a game I absolutely fucking hated the first time through, and I never beat it, or I really, really detested it in the first playthrough, and I'll tell you right now, there's certain games, like I've already told you, they've been re-released, like Catherine. I'm not replaying that game. I hated the gameplay of that game. The only thing I enjoyed was the plot. I hated the fucking puzzle gameplay. I'm not replaying that game, you see? There's certain games that I toughed through once. I ain't toughing through that shit again. Alright? So, essentially what we'll do is you guys will nominate and vote, and, you know, likely, I get the feeling there's going to be some popular ones that are already coming to mind. I guarantee you a bunch of people are going to want Fallout 1, or excuse me, Fallout 3, Fallout New Vegas again. There's probably going to be a group that are going to rally and ask me to play. Now, I don't know exactly when I played it, but I think the original Metal Gear Solid games, like Metal Gear Solid 1, I don't think I ever, I only did the first playthrough, and I never went back and replayed it, and I think that was 2015 or earlier. I'm pretty sure it was. I'm almost positive it was. Now, here's the other thing. I said no lengthy RPGs, right? That doesn't mean that classic RPGs that aren't incredibly lengthy are not eligible. For example, games like Chrono Trigger, Earthbound, The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past, those are not lengthy games. In fact, by modern standards, those games are pretty short. You know, we're talking maybe about 20 hours. Those are pretty short for RPGs. Those would absolutely be eligible. Okay? So, we'll see what happens. We'll see, you know. But first of all, we're getting ahead of ourselves. I'm just trying to explain the premise of the event to you. We have to hit the subs goal for this month first. Right? Man in the Pickle Suit says, replay Duke Nukem Forever. You were the only person who gave it a fair review. I mean, I guess so. At the same time, I don't think anyone's going to want to see me replay. I feel like I was one of the few people who liked that game. Most people hated it. Most people like, oh my god, this is like a, a game that's so outdated. And I was like, yeah, but that's the point. I like it because of that. I wanted to play a game that was in that old school style, but no one really dug it but me, I guess. Anyway. Excuse me. Anyway, that's my idea. That's the sub goal for April. All right? If you want to see that happen, please subscribe or consider gifting some subscriptions to your fellow viewer. All right? Sound good? All right. Would Star Fox be eligible? Well, let me think about this. I don't think so because I'm trying to think what Star Fox games I've played. I think I played 2. I played the original Star Fox on the Nintendo Switch Classics, and that was just recently. And then, excuse me, I played that Star Fox game on Wii U, but I want to say that was 2016. I could be wrong. Wasn't that 2016? It would basically have to be 2015 or earlier. You have to look back at the playthroughs, all right? And it has to be 2015 or earlier, and then it would be eligible, okay? That's the criteria we're using here, all right? Because that way we're talking at least 5 years ago, if not even longer, all right? What I'm hoping is that people will find, some gems there, games that are great, games that I've played before, but the playthroughs are so old that it'd be really fun to watch me redo them in the modern style, okay? Yeah, see? Expand Dong says Star Fox games. Star Fox 2, Star Fox 64. Didn't play playthroughs of any of those. Star Fox Adventure, Star Fox Assault Command, and then Star Fox Zero. That's the one I played. Zero. The worst one. Excuse me. Okay, yeah, see, Uncharted 2? Absolutely Uncharted 2 would be eligible. I own the Uncharted collection on PlayStation 4, so I would be able to play any of the classic Uncharted games again, if people that wanted to see that. See, those would be eligible. So we'll see. We'll see how things go, all right? But obviously, we need to hit the sub goal before we even get ahead of ourselves, right? The sub goal must be hit before we worry too much about this. So, all right, so that's the sub goal for this month. So now I've gabbed for a very long time here about all this crap. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you for all of your support. Thank you for allowing me to be a truly independent streamer who does not have any sponsorships and does not have any kind of an exclusive contract with Twitch or YouTube to get paid just for turning on a stream. I only am able to make a living because of your crowdfunding support. All right? But because of that, I am able to be myself. I'm able to be honest on the streams and say whatever I want. I don't have to worry about losing a sponsor or anything because I say something that may not be in line with the squeaky clean image that they like. Or God forbid that I criticize a game fairly and then, oh my God, you criticized a game that's part of a sponsorship deal. You see what I mean? That's what I like about what I do is that I've always remained independent. I've never sold out, and because of that, I can always be honest with all of you on the streams. But that being said, that's only because you guys support me, all right? It really is only because of your independent support that I'm allowed to be that independent guy, okay? And I want to say thank you for that support, all right? How can you support the streams? Cheering, subbing, and tipping are the 3 primary ways. If you cheer, sub, or tip today, I will give you a shout out on the stream. I try to go out of my way to give a shout out for every single contribution that comes in because that's how appreciative I am of you guys, supporting me and allowing me to do what I love for a living. I know how rare that is. I know how lucky I am, and I'm very grateful for that, okay? So that, Fehu says, that's not true. You used to sell to Big Seltzer. Oh, yes. Big Seltzer sponsorship. No, the one sponsorship I ever had that was anything of any length was Loot Crate. And you guys know how honest I was about Loot Crate. I was so honest about Loot Crate that no one bought any Loot Crates. No one bought the Loot Crates through my referral link because I already told you guys the Loot Crates sucked. So it didn't really work out too well. Anyway, I digress. So, if you like what I do and you support me as a content creator and you want to see me continue to be successful, please support me by cheering, subbing, or tipping today. Now, in particular, right now, tipping is preferred This is a very busy time of the month for me with many bills and things going on. So tips would help more in the short term. All right. Although everything is great and I appreciate all contributions and they're all welcome, tipping would help a little bit more right now. Okay. In regards to tipping, we have tip goals that we have set up as rewards. If we raise $50 in tips today, I'll put on my pair of Gunner glasses. If we raise $100 in tips, I'll put on a vest. Now, yesterday we wore the platinum vest and the beige. So today, it would be the blue, the red, the camo, and the gray vests that are eligible today. Okay, those are the 4 that are eligible for today. FYI. I try to do variety so that way it's not always the same vest that I'm wearing every single stream. And that's why the other vests are not eligible today. Okay, I know some people are upset about that. I can already see in stream chat. No, we're not going to wear the same exact vest every single freaking day. Just like I'm a variety streamer, I try to do a variety of stuff. All right? So, thank you in advance for any contributions. A few tips that I would like to share with you if you are a regular stream attendee. First of all, I strongly recommend do not use a name here on Twitch that's the same as your real life name or a name that you use on another website. Sadly, there are troll elements here on Twitch, people who are here just to make people miserable, and they might harass you on another site if they can figure out it's you. You see? You don't want that to happen. You want to diversify yourself on different sites so people can't follow you around and harass you no matter where you go. All right? In addition, I strongly recommend you close open direct messages here on Twitch. They are frequently used only for trolling purposes. For example, there may be someone who contributes to the stream to be supportive and then immediately receive a harassing DM from some loser saying, oh, you supported Dark Side Field, you know, some fucking idiot. And you don't want that. Trust me, you don't want that. Okay? I set it up so that only my friends on my friends list can send me a direct message. And I strongly recommend that you do exactly the same thing here. Okay? So there you go. And also, you know, I should just say this in general. Be careful about what you say on the internet. Because you don't want to give out too much personal info. You know what I mean? And then people figure stuff out about you and, again, try to harass you places. Just be careful about what you say. The internet is not a safe place. There's a lot of shitheads here. Okay? Now, in particular, in regards to tipping. Since tipping is the preferred method of contribution today, I do need help with tips more than anything else. All right? A few things about tips. First of all, I strongly recommend if you're going to be someone who's looking to support the stream, please verify your PayPal account. What this means is you tie your real life information, like your identity, to your PayPal account. It's very simple. Usually it's just linking your bank account, okay? PayPal is not going to dox you and put your information out there at all. Don't worry. They hide your private information. If they did that, you could sue them, okay? That's not going to happen. But what that does, that allows me to trust your contribution. I have had a series of very bad fake tips that happened via stolen credit cards. This cost me not only thousands of dollars, but also there were fees incurred. It screwed my PayPal up for a couple of months. It was a major disaster. All right, it was. So, please, if you're going to tip me today, please verify your PayPal account. If you verify it, I can trust it right away. I can count it towards the stream. If not, then I got to jump through hoops trying to verify if a PayPal account is real. It creates a big nightmare for everyone on the stream. It's a hassle because then we got to waste time and it breaks the immersion of the stream. All right. So please, if you can, please verify your PayPal account. All right. Now, in addition, if you're a regular to the stream and you're going to tip, you may want to use a code word. I know that sounds absolutely silly, but because of the fraud I've had against me, this has become a very useful practice in the last month and a half. Basically, if you're someone who tips a lot and you want me to know that it's you and trust your tip right away, in your message to me that you want me to read out on stream, include a code word. And I'll recognize that code word and I'll know it's really you. And immediately we can count that tip and put it towards the stream. And again, it won't break the immersion of the stream if we do it that way. You see? So, thank you to anyone who contributes in any way. Thank you to those who have verified their PayPal accounts to streamline the process. And thank you to those who use code words as well with tips. It really has helped a lot over the past month and a half. Okay? Thank you, and thank you some more. All right, plug segment is now complete. We can now move on to the shoutouts. So let's do that. Okay, we start off with Man in a Pickle Suit, who subscribed a couple hours ago. Thank you to Man in the Pickle Sue for subscribing. I appreciate that. The first cheer of the day was from Golden Colts. Let me read it out, answer, and then I'll put him on the leaderboard. He says, do you like jambalaya soup? What's the best custom soup? What ingredients does it have? And do you serve it with bread, toast, or crackers? From my knowledge, jambalaya is that Southern-style Cajun soup that has, like, everything. Doesn't it have, like, chicken, pork, seafood, right? Doesn't it have, like, everything? I've never had it. I don't think I've ever had jambalaya. To me, that sounds to me like that's too much in one soup. It does. It sounds to me like that's too many ingredients, and you wouldn't really be able to focus in on one ingredient and enjoy it. It would just be like so many flavors together that I don't know if you'd really be able to focus in and enjoy it, you know? I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe jambalaya is really good, but that seems to me like it's just too much. I prefer, if you're going to have a soup, I prefer something that focuses maybe in on one or two proteins tops, and then has some other variety of ingredients, whether it's vegetables or beans or something like that, you know? A soup that just has a million kinds of protein, I don't know about that. I think that might be just too much. And also, isn't jambalaya supposed to be very, very spicy? I think so, right? And I do like some spicy stuff, but yeah, I've never had jambalaya, so I couldn't actually attest to whether or not I would like it. Now, what goes with it? With a soup, I always like some kind of bread to dip in soup. And it really doesn't matter what kind of soup it is. All different kinds of soup go well with bread to dip into it. You know, and have the soup kind of absorb, the broth absorb into the bread, and then you eat it like that. I think that's a good thing to do with soup. Some people love oyster crackers. I think oyster crackers are good, but I prefer dipping bread in soup than like crackers and stuff in my soup. Okay? So there you go. All right. Golden Colts had cheered again, and he says, did you shower before today's stream or wash your key areas with a damp towel? There's a regular attendee who always asks this, so I'm looking out for them. No, what I did is I started feeling some weird things and hearing these squeaky noises. So what I did was I took a flaming, actually a red hot poker. A red hot poker. I put a poker into my fireplace, lit it up like red hot. And then I reached back and I stabbed backwards. It was an invisible life form on me with tentacles. It was invisible. It was like a chameleon. You know how it could blend in? You could change colors? It was translucent. And it was sucking on my back. So I stabbed it with this red hot poker. And it released its tendrils. And it leapt into the air and flew into space. It was remarkable. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I immediately called the police. And they told me that I was nuts, to never call them again, or else they're going to arrest me for false reports. So, there may be some, an alien race out there sucking on us, and we just don't know about it. That's correct, though. Galactic Reptile said you needed to have more Madman's knowledge in order to see the creature. That's correct. That's actually what I'm getting at. All right, very nice. Someone got the reference. Okay. Anyway, let's continue. Fantasy Star PG cheered. He says, what do you think of EA becoming a big player in the racing games scene? They bought Codemasters who made Dirt, Project Cars, Grid, and F1. I don't care. I don't think I've played any of those games. Right? I don't think I played a single one of those games. You guys know I'm not a big racing guy. Every once in a while I'll play a Need for Speed. I play Mario Kart and stuff like that. But I'm not a big automobile or vehicle racing guy. I'm just not into it. I never was. Even when I play games like sandbox games like GTA that has the racing stuff, I usually don't focus in on it too much. It's just, I don't know. It's just, I've never been a car guy. My whole life, I had friends who were heavily into racing in cars. And they would go to car shows and shit. That's just, it's never been me. It's just not my thing. So, I don't really care that EA bought the racing games. I mean, if they remake all those games or make new ones in the franchises, great, I guess. If they throw money into them. Especially because some of those franchises, I think, are pretty much dead. We haven't heard from them in a long time. I guess that's a good thing. But I don't really care one way or the other because I don't like those games that much. You see? Okay. Fantasy Star PG cheered again. He said, because of the pandemic, most movies are now releasing on a service as well in theaters, same day. What he means is a streaming service, instantly through HBO Max or whatever. He's correct. We all knew this would one day become a thing, but the pandemic sped up that process by years. Now it's all but guaranteed post-pandemic if a movie isn't going to bring in tons of money like a Marvel movie or a Fast and the Furious movie, it's just going to get a same-day service release at home. What do you think of the new movie landscape post-pandemic? It's certainly interesting because you're absolutely right. I was someone who, in the last few years, I've been saying this. I said, you know, the whole movie experience isn't what it used to be. It used to be you go to a movie theater and you get this booming, awesome sound quality you couldn't get at home and a giant screen in front of you didn't have at home, right? And you couldn't watch the movie at home. It wasn't, you know what I mean? If you watch movies at home, you're such an inferior experience. But the modern movie theater experience has basically become kind of like, okay, do they have surround sound, THX, or whatever? Sure, some theaters do. Do they have a big screen? Yeah, of course. But you can pretty much replicate that experience at home if you have a good home theater and a big TV, you know? And the thing is, number one, the cost of going to the movies has increased dramatically. And this isn't just talking about the pandemic. Before the pandemic, the cost of a movie ticket went from, like, you used to be able to go to a matinee for $5 and watch a new movie for $5. Okay? Now the matinee ticket is like $20. That's supposed to be the cheap one. Can you imagine this? $20 to sit there in the movie theater. And it would be one thing if you were guaranteed a good experience. You're not. You could be sitting there with some asshole on his fucking phone, a baby, wah, wah, wah. Why the fuck did you bring your screaming baby to the movies, you stupid fucking asshole? Put your baby home. We don't want him in the fucking movie. The best is when they bring him to a movie that's scary or fucking loud. Like, yes, let's bring your baby to Godzilla vs. Kong in the theater where the fucking sound is so loud it's probably bursting their eardrums, so the baby, wah, wah, wah. You fucking idiots. And now you're like, wow, I spent $50 to go to this movie for 2 tickets and a fucking thing of popcorn that was $17, you know. And what did I come for? It's a terrible fucking experience, right? So that's what I mean. Like, getting an actual good theater experience is incredibly hit or miss these days. So I already had told you guys over the last few years, I had barely touched even the idea of going to the movie theater. Because movies that come on, people always ask me, are you going to go see it? You're going to go see it? I'm like, no. I have no fucking desire to go to a movie theater and pay a ton of money to sit there and have an inferior experience. If this movie were at home, I could sit in front of my home theater and enjoy it just as much as the movies, except there's no assholes around me, right? So I've been leaning towards this for many years right now. I've been saying, I don't know why you can't have instant distribution. If you can have instant distribution of television shows on a service like Netflix, Disney Plus, why can't you do it with the movies? Well, if anything, the pandemic has taught us there's no reason at all. It was just a practice to try to keep movie theaters in business because it was an industry that relied on putting physical butts in seats. And now I think we realize we don't need to do that anymore, right? Dinosaur King says, I take the cinema experience with friends over watching at home any day. Hey, Dinosaur King, have your friends come over. Have them come to your house and watch the movie with you. The thing is, like, this has always been this way for certain things. For example, UFC, WWE pay-per-views. People have been getting together to watch pay-per-view events at each other's homes for the longest fucking time. For some reason, we had to go to a physical building to watch a movie. But we couldn't just watch it at our homes like we do other events. Sporting events. How many people go over to other people's houses to watch fucking sports? Right? Why can't we do it for movies? Now, I can understand if you have a tiny TV, if you got a small rinky-dink apartment, you know, you're just getting by. All right, maybe you don't want to cram a bunch of people into the hot box. You know, I understand that. But even back in the day, I used to have my friends come over to my house when I lived with my parents into my cramped bedroom. And we used to stream the WWE pay-per-views over my computer for like $10. I would get it because back then to stream it was like $10 an event. And we would watch it in front of my computer screen. All right? Now, the thing is, I'm only relaying my experience. Maybe you've had much better movie theater experience than I've had recently. I used to go to the movies all the time when I was younger. It felt like a different experience. I just feel like today, the modern movie experience is nowhere near as good as it used to be for most of the reasons that I've just outlined. So it's very likely you're like, Phil, you know, that's not accurate. You could be right. Maybe you live somewhere where there is a really good theater experience. I haven't had that in recent years. So for me, I would prefer digital at home, but here's the catch. I haven't watched any of these new movies at home yet, okay? I don't know what they cost. Does anyone know? Like, for example, right now, if I wanted to watch Godzilla vs. Kong, how much would I have to pay? Because it's only one viewing, right? It's literally only one viewing, right? So, how much are you paying for the one viewing of the movie? Let's see. $15? Someone just said $15. All right. So, that's about on par. That's about on par with a movie ticket, I would say. It's, it's not exorbitantly priced. But of course, like you might argue, oh, well, I'm not getting the theater experience. I'm not sitting in their comfy seats. I'm not getting the giant theater sound system, right? I'm not getting the IMAX screen or whatever. I mean, fair enough. But I would say that's a reasonable price. Oh, it's unlimited viewing. What? It's unlimited? Oh, so people are telling me it's not what I think. So if you have HBO Max streaming service, you get all those movies for free as long as you pay the sub price? Oh. It's not like the Disney Plus thing where you have to pay extra money. I thought it was. Oh, fuck. Well, that's good. Then that's really good. That's even better than I thought it was, man. Okay, so Play Divinity Original Sin says they'll usually have the new movies play on HBO Max for 1 month and then they remove it from the service, but then it may come back again later. Cool. Interesting. Man, now I want fucking HBO Max. I seriously do, because I thought you had to pay for each movie. I had no idea that you get them under the service. Fuck, now I want it. Well, I'm probably not going to get it. I don't have fucking money to blow on that shit. Anyway, my opinion is it was coming. And yes, you're right, the pandemic accelerated it, and I do feel that it's warranted. Someone like me, I would love to watch these movies at home and not have to go to the movie theater to see it. Okay? Little Iffy 22 has cheered and says, are you going to be getting the Mass Effect Legendary Edition and Happy Easter? Yes, I am. And I will be playing Mass Effect 1 and 3 out of the Legendary Edition. I don't know if I'll play them immediately back to back, but I'm playing those. Okay? 672 has gifted a subscription to the Master Programmer. Congratulations to the Master Programmer, and thank you, 672, for that gifted Tier 1 sub. Appreciate the channel support. Dcash 2012, excuse me, I subscribed to the channel for 10 months. Thank you, Dcash. He says, what's for Easter dinner tonight? Gumbo. We're having, it's shrimp and Cajun sausage gumbo. It's funny that someone mentioned jambalaya earlier, because we're actually having a Cajun dinner tonight. Yeah, gumbo. Okay. 672 gifted us up to Angelo Bestia. Congratulations, Angelo Bestia. Thank you, 672. Not Again 843 has resale for 2 months. Says hello, DSP. Hello, Not Again. Welcome to the stream. Thank you for the channel support. Timbo Slices cheered. He says, can we say JRPGs are not allowed to be picked? I mean, here, like I said, nothing lengthy. If someone wanted to nominate a classic game like Earthbound or Chrono Trigger, I wouldn't be opposed to that. We're talking about the sub goal for the month, by the way. But no, I don't want to have an 80-hour JRPG that I've already beaten have to be fucking played again. You see what I'm saying? That's out. Tarantula MS 2018 is to me $5, the first tipper of today. Let's get him on the leaderboard here. Tarantula MS 2018. It's a $5 tip. Thank you, Tarantula. And he says, Phil, I wanted to be sure my idea a month ago would still work, which would be a Fallout 3 Evil Dumb playthrough. I mean, if people did, excuse me, if people did nominate Fallout 3, and I ended up playing it, obviously, one of the major changes between this playthrough and the original is going to be the stream interaction. If people wanted to suggest, hey, Phil, why don't you do a, play it dumb and be stupid, but be bad and kill people and stuff, maybe I would do that. I don't know. It would be a possibility because we'd have people here live to suggest that on the fly, you see? So, yeah, we'll see. It's a possibility. Oh my God, excuse me. Shout out to Ace Best, who has resubscribed for 58 months. Thank you, Ace Best. You are one of the longest standing subs here on my Twitch channel. I believe there's only maybe like 5 people in that range, and you're one of them. So thank you very much, Ace Best, for the ongoing support. I appreciate that. It's good to see you today. Green Apple Slush is that a 50-bit cheer. He says, are bits a verified way to tip? No. Bits have nothing to do with tipping. And you know that. Tokage Tony did 100-bit cheers. Says, do you only accept tips from PayPal? Yes. That is the only way that you can tip me is via PayPal. That is correct. And sorry if you don't use PayPal and you wanted to tip in any other way. I don't accept Bitcoin. No, I don't accept any of that stuff. But let me tell you, PayPal has a million uses. I use PayPal for a lot of stuff. So maybe now's a good time to start. Timbo Slice is cheered. He said, you like chili with noodles or non-noodles? Here in Wisconsin, almost everyone uses noodles, and I prefer non-noodles. I have never had chili with noodles. I've never even heard of chili with noodles. I don't think I've ever seen chili presented to me as an option with noodles in it. It's always, chili is beans, sometimes meat, like turkey or beef, and obviously a lot of spice, chili powder, etc. in it. But I don't know about, I've never seen it with noodles. My stupid throat. I woke up today and my throat was like dried out and screwed up because of my allergies, and it sucks because it took me all day to get it back into shape. I hate that. Probably I slept with my mouth open. John Man is here, cheered. 50 bits says happy birthday to Phil. Wear your vest and play games. Happy birthday to Phil. Oh, he's saying happy birthday to Phil. Phil. Wear your vest and play games. Happy birthday to Phil. Thank you, John Man. Today's not my birthday. Tuesday is my birthday. Now, I've got a tip here, and I need to see if it's real or not. It's a name I'm not familiar with, okay? So I do need to verify this tip. I apologize. I have to take a quick look. I hope the tip is verified, because it's really going to suck if it's not, and I have to fucking refund it. But let's take a look. Hold on. In the meantime, shout out to Daryl Jensen, who cheers. As some people rely on jobs in the movie theaters, you should understand that. Oh, I get it. Okay. I get it. I totally get it. All right, let's take a look here. I had a PayPal error. It's hilarious. I had a PayPal error. It wasn't showing me my balance. And I clicked on it, and now it shows it. It was just a stupid error. It scared me. I was like, what happened? Did my PayPal account get fucked up? Like, no, it's just, it was just a stupid error. Okay, anyway. This is a verified tip. So this tip is from Uncle, oh my God, it's, hold on. Uncle Vatrid21. Tip me $5. Thank you to Uncle Vatrid. This is a legit tip. I appreciate that. Hold on. You know, it scared me because I have so much shit that happens to me over the years. And I'm like, what happened now? Something happened to my PayPal account? It's fucked up? No, it's fine. It was a glitch. It didn't load properly. Anyway, thank you, Uncle Vatrid. He says the following. I started following your content years back as a goof. But you know what? You give me enough hours of genuine enjoyment that I definitely now consider myself an actual fan. Happy Easter, bud. P.S. I'd 10,000% buy a Why Am I Toxic shirt. Yeah. I think you would, and probably a lot of people would. It's a saying of mine, you know, from over the years. So maybe I should make one eventually. I haven't made a new shirt in a million years. The last batch of new shirts I made, I think, was a year and a half ago. My Teespring is such an afterthought. You know, it's nice that it's there, and there are some really nice designs on my Teespring, don't get me wrong. But it's just never been a major focus of mine to sell merch. At one point, I pushed it a little bit on the streams, but... Excuse me. At one point, I focused on it. I haven't focused on it in quite some time. So, anyway, thank you for the tip. I'll consider it. And hey, if anyone wanted to throw together a design, a Why Am I Toxic design for Teespring on a shirt, I would consider it. Okay? I can't do it. I have no graphic design talent. No, I didn't do this. Alone Light has resubscribed for 6 months. He says, yay, 6 months subscribed. You're the best streamer, Phil. Thank you, Alone Light. for the 6-month sub. I appreciate that very much. Razo Senpai has subscribed for 4 months. Thank you, Razo Senpai, for a 4-month resub. I appreciate that. CM Fool, to me $4.20. It says, pop quiz, what's the story of Shadows of the Damned? I don't remember. I definitely don't remember. That was the one I played a very long time ago. I'm going to go as far to say that was before direct capture, right? And definitely, I think it was before live streaming. I don't remember at all. Too long ago. You have stumped me, CM Fool, with your request. Okay. Shoutouts. Shout out to the top cheers of the week. Now, I should remind everyone, today's Sunday. Per Twitch's criteria, today is the final consecutive streaming day of the week per them. What happens is overnight, the leaderboards reset. Okay? So, FYI, if you want to get on this leaderboard as a top contributor for the week, you must do so by the end of today. It will be back to 0 overnight. Okay? So, shout out to those who are currently the top cheerers of the week. In 10th place, Colts MVP. A tie for 8th place between Snow Carl and Ripley Atomic. In 7th place, Major Riot. In 6th place, Local Nomad. 5th place, Thug Nasty 97. 4th place, Hinkler. 3rd place, Vergatoto. 2nd place, Timbo Slice GB. And in 1st place, Mr. Minecraftish. Thank you guys very much for your support. It's very much appreciated. Also, thank you guys very much to those who have gifted subscriptions to the channel this week. The following people gifted a single sub. Now, there's more people than this that did, but these are the only ones that are sitting on the leaderboard here. We got Nihilistic Goldfish, Sean Osake, It's Me Mario Gamer, Uniturtle 1, Technical 2070, and No Damage 2 each gave a single sub to the channel. Okay? 672 gifted 2 subscriptions. Thank you. Shirtless Mofo gifted 4 subs. Thank you. Twisted Resistor dropped a 5 sub bomb. Thank you. And Only Iced Coffee. Earlier in the week, the person who really secured us with that subs goal for March, he gifted a whopping 30 subs in one go, which is very much appreciated. Thank you, Only Iced Coffee, as always, for the ongoing channel support. And I'm sure everyone who got a gifted sub is very appreciative as well, right? Very nice. My stupid throat is really pissing me off today because of my allergies. W. Day cheered. He says, speaking of Shadows of the Damned, we're the Suda 51 collection. It's a good point. Suda 51 games are always quirky, unique, and different for sure. They got this vibe to them, you know. But they're very, very different. If you look at Suda 51 games over the years, they've all been very different experiences. And they've only basically been released once ever. Like, they never get re-released. They never even considered remastering these games. To my knowledge, I take that back. No More Heroes did get a remaster, but do you remember what happened? No More Heroes was remade on the originally it was a Wii game. They remade it on PlayStation 3 for the Move controller. It didn't even work right. It didn't even fucking work properly. It was like glitched, where you would try to use the motion controls. They wouldn't work properly half the time. You couldn't recharge the lightsaber properly. So it was kind of a bust, I would say, you know. But anyway, yeah, that's interesting that they've never been re-released, right? But now we got a new one coming out, right? The new No More Heroes 3 is coming out later this year. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for a great and supportive pre-stream. Let's take a break. I apologize for all the throat clearing. It's bothering me as much as it's bothering you, trust me. But anyway, let's take a break. I'm going to use the restroom. I hope you will take the opportunity, grab a drink, grab a snack, whatever you need, you know, get ready for the stream. When we come back, it is the continuation, all right? The continuation of Ghosts and Goblins. We're going to see what happens. We're going to see if I can beat this stage today. It's probably going to be incredibly tough, but I'm going to do my damn best, all right? Thank you guys for being patient. I'll see you in a few minutes.